Everyone treats their birthday a little differently. For some, especially those who are older and perhaps more cynical, it is simply a reminder of the continuing aging process. But for others, it is a joyous occasion, and a chance for family and loved ones to spend time with you and remind you that you're special. This is especially true when you're a young child, and every new birthday is a huge milestone as your world very gradually grows. And we happen to have a childcare in ReBoot, don't we? And it would seem his birthday is today.
Oh, hi, how's it going?
So far, so good. Enzo doesn't have a clue. How about you?
Way behind schedule.
Behind schedule? This isn't like you, Dot.
Bob, the acts are terrible. And the ones I do like, MC rejects.
It's a dirty job, but someone's gotta do it.
You gotta keep Enzo busy at least until 2450.
24? Oh, if you say so.
Thanks, Bob. You're a lifesaver. Can we begin already?
Talent Night was written by Lane Richard, with story by Gavin Blair, Phil Mitchell, and Ian Pearson. The main cast includes Michael Benier as Bob, Kathleen Barr as Dot, Matthew Sinclair as Enzo, Tony J as Megabyte, Phil Hayes as Hack, Gary Chalk as Slash and Al's waiter, Michael Donovan as Fawn, Al and Mike the TV, and Louise Valance as Emma C. So here's the rundown of the plot. The first 2/3 of the episode consist of Bob taking Enzo on a day of fun, doing various cool activities. That basically can be described as Tron sports. Meanwhile, Dot is auditioning acts for a very special talent show that she's hosting for Enzo's birthday that night. This has been kept a secret from Enzo, so part of Bob's task is also to keep Enzo from leaving and heading back to the diner until Dot is ready. With Dot is a bino named Emma C., a prog censor, who was clearly a stand-in for the BS&P that made crazy censorship demands on the show during its run on ABC. In fact, an interview confirms that she was directly inspired by a BS&P rep named Mary. And this section of the episode, the variety acts, is an absolute riot. This must have taken no effort to sell at the creative meetings. All the wacky denzians of Mainframe auditioning for a talent show is hilarious and genius. Our first act is a series of acrobats who do a bunch of flips. Dot thinks they're good, but Emma rejects them for no particular reason. Next up is a guy who pulls himself apart. Yeah, that's it. A janitor sweeps him away, and then we get a very special tongue-in-cheek joke as the two characters from the Money for Nothing music video step out onto the stage. In case you need a reminder, the creators of this show worked on that music video as an earlier project.
You dumb or something? Get him out of here!
They're booed off stage and tossed out. A little harsh perhaps, but clearly meant to be a self-deprecating joke of the creators' earlier works. It's a great scene. We then get Johnny O'Bynome, who is a hilarious stand-up comedian. And he sure is, if you can speak binary.
10011 101!
This guy's the one. Yeah?
Really, Ms. Matrix? There's gonna be children in the audience. I'm afraid I can't approve of this one.
After the comedy man is rejected by Emma, we get a clip of Al's waiter auditioning with one of those one-man band setups, complete with an accordion. Emma rejects that act too, and when Dot asks for one good reason, she simply says, "'Cause I can't stand him." Our next act is a clown who juggles and makes balloon animals out of nulls. As the madness continues, we see that Megabyte's attention has been drawn to the activity around the diner.
Ah, Dot Matrix. What have we here? Lieutenant, I want 6 squads to scout the, activity on level 1.
Sir.
Throw a party without inviting me? Really, Dot, how Rude.
In the next scene, we're back with Bob and Enzo, playing what boils down to cyber tennis. Suddenly, a vid window with Megabyte appears, and he grills Bob on what he and Dot are planning near the diner. Bob, in a panic, tosses Enzo off to one side and tells Megabyte to bugger off. Megabyte wonders why he wasn't invited, and then leaves. Ominous? Enzo returns annoyed, and curious as to what they were talking about. Bob dodges the question and drags Enzo off to another activity. We return to the audition stage to see the next act is none other than Fawn.
Unforgettable. I have no idea what the next line is.
Thank you, Fong.
Well, that could have gone better. Luckily, next up is the Small Town Binomes, a direct parody of the Village People. Their track, BS&P, is clearly both a joke on YMCA and also another poke at the censors. These guys are just too clever. After this great scene that gets everyone grooving and gets a thumbs up from Dot and Emma, we have a group called the Primitives. This turns out to be a green cube, a blue sphere, and a red cone. Get it? Those are the three basic colors and basic 3D shapes. They do a killer jazz track. Then comes my personal favourite act. The one and only Captain Quirk. See if you can name the tune he's singing.
Packed my bags last night, pre-flight. 0 hour, 9 a.m. And I'm gonna be high as a kite by then. I miss the Earth so much, I miss my wife. It's lonely out in space on such a timeless flight. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time.
Next!
After this legend beams away, we see behind the curtain. Literally, because the camera pans behind the backdrop, and we see some of Megabyte's spies wandering around. The curtain lifts, and they comically freeze in place for a moment. Most of them shuffle off, but one stays and starts breakdancing. Nice. Dot groans, but surprisingly, Emma loves it and tells Mike to book him. Mike escorts them to the exit, nobody seeming to notice the very obvious fact that they're virals, and Megabyte contacts him for a status report.
The jam is moldy in the kitchen, and the rolling rabbit gathers no moss.
What are you talking about?
Sir, Mainframe's population is conducting some celebratory event online at 2450, sir.
How very convenient for me. Prepare for Operation Plan Code 214.
No! Not Plan 214! I kinda like it.
Megabyte laughs to himself that no one will know what hit them. In the next scene, we shift back to Bob and Enzo, who are at a big slide. Enzo tells Bob that he's had a great day, but that he's very tired and hungry and wants to head back to the diner. Of course, Bob can't comply until Dot gives the all clear, so he literally tosses Enzo down the slide once more and then calls Dot to tell her that Enzo is getting antsy. In fact...
Bob? Everyone's here, but we're not ready yet.
Sorry, Dot, but he's getting suspicious. He's getting anxious. He's... heading your way!
What do you mean, our way? When?
Now!
Enzo zipboards back to the area around the diner, and of course sees the huge conspicuous performance area. He wanders out onto the stage, and all the crowds gathered shout, "Happy birthday." Enzo, of course, is completely taken aback, and has a big smile on his face. Then, in an exciting moment, he gets an upgrade for his birthday. The number on his shirt goes from 01, which is 1 in binary, to 10, which in binary is 2. He's 2 now. Clearly aging works different in Mainframe. Then the show begins, and Dot floors everyone with a big show tune, starring her.
All the rest don't even come close. Yes, it's true. There's no one like you. You're alphanumeric.
Her song wraps up to thunderous applause, and as the next act takes the stage, suddenly, A few of Megabyte's carriers crash the party. Panic reigns out in the audience, and Megabyte emerges holding a guitar. Hack and Slash appear with a drum kit. Suddenly, to the complete surprise of the audience and the characters, Megabyte turns his amplifier into 11, Spinal Tap reference, and then proceeds into a guitar solo. This section is awesome beyond belief. I don't care who you are. The first time watching this, it is flooring. Does it make any sense? Who cares? It rocks. Bob responds to Megabyte's appearance the only way he can.
BFG.
Holy
Moly!
As the epic guitar duel ends, Megabyte hands off his guitar to Enzo and says, "I've always wanted to do that." He and his viral henchmen then clear the scene and leave everyone in peace. Bob and Dot, flabbergasted, simply wish Enzo a happy birthday. And that's that. Where to begin? This is a non-stop, laugh-a-minute tour de force that feels like you just saw your favourite stand-up comedian. Not that this whole series isn't the blast, but this episode in particular must have been a joy to work on and develop. And there are references everywhere. I've already pointed out some of them, like the Dire Straits and Village People callbacks. But watch the episode and see just how deep the layers of cleverness really go. The only thing that is a hang-up is the change in cast. Matthew Sinclair takes over the role of Enzo in this episode, and it's jarring, especially watching these episodes close together. He'll ease into it and develop his own Enzo sound, but here it's weird. Jesse Moss will make a further appearance at some point, you'll see. Just the disadvantage of using an actual boy. The voices change. Just like in Wizards, Warriors, and a word from our sponsor, the visuals here are enrapturing, and something is happening every moment. There's just so much life, vibrance, and energy. I know it seems so odd for a literary critic like me to so strongly recommend an episode that is basically a sketch comedy, but good is good. That's all there is to it. A must-watch for Season 1. It gets 3 fedoras from me.